Next, in our e-learning tutorial, we are going to learn how to modify our course. So let's say that we are starting from the beginning, we are new to e-learning, and now we have just logged into the dashboard and we want to modify our course. First thing we need to do is locate our course that we want to work on. You can locate it either directly from under recently accessed courses, or you go under the course overview and locate the course. You click on the title of the course, and then by default, you'll be presented with something very similar to this. At the top, you'll have the title, and then on the left-hand side, you'll have something similar to this, which is referred to as the course index. The activities, you'll enter them here in this center block in the larger area. Now, on the right-hand side, there is also this drawer block, which is like a third panel. To close this drawer on the right-hand side, you can click on the X. On the very top, these are the main functions that you can utilize for managing this course. These options will change depending on what you're doing in the course. So right now we are at the course level and we can access the course itself, the settings of the course. We can view the participants of the course, grades, reports, and some additional options related to the course. Typically, if we are in another activity, let's say the assignment activity or something else, these options, as I mentioned earlier, they will change appropriately for that type of activity. Remember, in order to change anything related to the activity, you'll most likely, in most cases, you'll have the settings option to modify that particular activity. So two things to remember. You remember that to modify anything related to the items in the course, you use this list of options here on the top, whether it is the course itself or the activities. Now, one other thing to remember is that on the very top right, we have this edit mode. For us to make changes to this course, we need to enter into edit mode, turn on basically the edit mode. Now, with this release of e-learning and Moodle, to turn on editing, we need to toggle this option on the right-hand side, and that will display a whole bunch of new options in our course page. Notice that you have these little icons, the pen icon for each section, and then for each item as well. Notice that next to each one of the sections and each of the items, we have these three dots. The three dots have settings for the item that it corresponds with. So for example, if we wanted to modify anything related to the announcements, this is the option to change the settings. And there are two ways to change those. You can click on the item itself first, and then click on settings on the top from the toolbar here on the top. Or if we are in edit mode, we click on the three dots here on the right-hand side, the quick menu, and then click on edit settings, and that'll take us to the same view as earlier. To add components in our course, you'd use the add an activity or a resource, and then from here you can add assignments, attendance, book, forums, lessons, pages, quizzes, and so on in the course, including Zoom, as you can see in the very bottom. And we'll go through most of those in the rest of this tutorial. To do the grade setup, you click here on grades, and this will display the list of grades for your students. In our case, we don't have any activities yet, and therefore no grades. To go to the gradebook setup, we click here on the grader report, and all the options for the gradebook are going to be listed in this drop-down, and the most commonly used one, it's going to be this gradebook setup. Typically, to return to the course, we click here on course, and that'll take us to the main page of our course. To turn editing off in the course, you toggle the option edit mode here on the top right, and that'll give us the default view. As you get started with e-learning, it is important to note that possibilities are limitless in what you can do with your course. And here is an example of an online course with all the various types of activities, the instructor information, the video from the instructor, the syllabus, announcements, then each unit, the various activities. Notice the course index here on the left-hand side and the additional blocks for the completion progress for the students on the right-hand side. Another thing to remember is that if you build the course for one term, you can reuse that course by importing the content for each new term.